Oh.
You're safe,
Oh.
Jillian?
Here's a gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
I love you.
Heads down, heads down, heads down, heads down, heads down, heads down, heads fucking.
My name is Connor Fouts and welcome to my channel. And so today it is going to be the first episode of my series, My Life on Camera. And so this story is kind of a scary one, not gonna lie. It really impacted me in a very weird way, honestly. But we're gonna be going over a shooting at a party that I managed to catch on film. So this night just started out like any other night. Me and my friends were gonna go to this party that we saw on a bunch of people's Snapchat stories. It's about like 10 minutes away from our houses. And so we decided just to all meet up at this pizza place that we know nearby. And so we park all of our cars in this parking lot, and I decided to be the DD. So everyone gets in the car and we drive up to this party. And so we forgot that it was $10 to get in. It's this fine print on the flyer. So they basically screwed us. I couldn't even tell what it said. And they go up to the door and like, no, look at the flyer again, dude. It's $10 to get in. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to the car, and I have this great idea. So I go back to my car and I grab these box of condoms, right? And they're underneath my seat. And so I grab the box of condoms and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be the condom supplier, fuck it. So I go up to the front door and I'm like, hey bro, I know you already said $10 before, but can I get in if I am the condom supplier and I bring these condoms in? So I pull out these box of condoms and he looks at me and he just starts laughing his ass off. And so he's like, you know what? I'll give you a discount. So he let me and my two friends in for just $5. So we saved around like $25 right there. So that was nice. And so $5, I cashed after them, and then we went inside. And so they had like 3 security guards outside, and one of them had a gun. And so I noticed because he lifted up his arms like this because he was stretching, and I just saw like, the glare of it. And so, yeah, he has a gun. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of sketchy, but you know what? It's whatever. He's protecting the place. So we go inside, and it's a good time. I see some people that I haven't seen in a while, see some work friends, and it was just a lot of fun, actually. Downstairs was really hot. It was so packed. But everyone was dancing, girls were twerking, and this guy actually had a gun, this big-ass AR. And he was just sitting above everyone, just watching everyone in the room. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. That is not comforting at all. Or to some people, it might be really comforting, but it was not comforting for me. So I go upstairs and I play beer pong for a little bit, as you'll see in all these clips. And so, yeah, we're just playing beer pong, having a good time. And all of a sudden, this dude comes up to me, the party owner that I met named, he's actually pretty chill, and came up to me and he was like, hey bro, have you seen this dude named Tony? He's wearing like this red hat, and I don't know, he's just been running around. I'm like, no, I haven't seen him anywhere. And so it's just this group of 5 dudes running around trying to find this dude named Tony, and I have no idea why. And so basically I heard there was a commotion going on downstairs, and so I tell my friends that we need to leave.
And the reason why I said we had to leave is because in Colorado Springs, fights happen all the time at parties, and those fights always turn into shootings. So I wanted to get my friends out of there and get myself out of there before anything happened. And as you already know, something did happen.
And so there were so many people in front of the front door, and we're like downstairs, that we couldn't go out through the front door. So we went out through the back, and there was this tall ass fence, and it was padlocked. You couldn't even go through it. And I realized that this house was an Airbnb, and inside you literally see like, please no smoking and no vaping inside, because they said they had smoke alarms in there that can detect vaping. I was like, oh, that's kind of odd for that to be in this party where everyone's smoking. And so yeah, I figured out it was an Airbnb, and this poor Airbnb owner, his whole entire house got basically destroyed, and gunshots were in his walls and shit afterwards. But basically, I lift my friend up over the fence, and it's my friend Raina and Marco, Quinn, and Jill. And so we all jumped the fence, and Raina's a little bit short, so we lifted her up and finally got her over. And so everyone got over the fence, and we go straight to my car. And so I decided, you know what? I'm in my car, we're safe. Let's drive in front of the house and see what's going on before we leave. And so that was a bad idea. But I pull up in front of the house, and all of a sudden this group of like 20 guys just starts running out, and it's like the dude Tony, he has like this red hat on, and so they're like all like, you know, arguing in the street and shit, and all of a sudden they start throwing down like punches left and right. They're just going crazy. They're fighting in front of my car, and I'm like, holy shit, this is wild. And they take it into like the yard to our left, and so they're fighting, and that's when I started to pull out my phone, and I can't go forward or backwards, and that's why I pulled out my phone, because basically I wasn't going anywhere, so might as well record. And so people are running behind my car, and I put it into reverse. I'm like slowly going backwards, looking at my backup camera, making sure I'm not like gonna hit anyone. And that's when all of a sudden this dude walks out in front of my car with this big AR, and he just walks into the crowd of people, and I'm like, that is a big ass gun. And then my friend Quinn's like, yeah, that's a gun.
Jillian?
Here's a gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has a gun.
And so, yeah, my friend Quinn basically was looking out the window, and I was too. Everyone was looking out the window, and all of a sudden we hear a gunshot.
Please be safe.
Oh shit.
And I just remember it was just so loud. It was just like, just pierced through my ears, and I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. That's when I just put my car in the high gear, and I was like, fuck it, we're getting out of here. So he pops up another shot, and I'm like, everyone needs to get their heads down right now. So I'm yelling, heads down, heads down, heads down. And it might sound like heads up in the video at first, but I'm just saying down really fast, so it sounds like up. And so I hear a gunshot, literally as soon as I put my head back up, when I'm saying heads down, I hear a gunshot as soon as I put my head up, and it literally went right over my car into a house nearby. And I actually read in a news article that, yeah, they were shooting shots, nobody was injured or nobody died, but basically they missed like so many shots that a freaking bullet went over my car into the house across the street, and the owner of the house was actually awake watching TV when this happened. So I just can't imagine just sitting in your house and you're just like, oh yeah, this show's pretty good. Holy shit, what's going on? But yeah, it was a pretty crazy experience. But basically, you know, I'm reversing, I finally get out of there, and when I was driving away, I see this group of kids, and I'm like, yo, stay safe guys, have a good night. And so like I yell like stay safe to these random group of guys that are running towards their car. And all of a sudden, this dude turns around, and it's the shooter. It's the dude with the AR. He literally turns around, he has the whole AR in his hands. And I'm like, oh shit. So I start booking, I start driving, and they turn around. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, are they following us? So I take a left and a right, and then like 3 lefts in a row, and they're still following us. And I was like, oh shit, we're gonna die. They're literally trying to like freaking catch up to us and kill us because we're witnesses in this shit. Because I didn't know if anyone was dead at the time. And so, you know, I'm driving off like crazy, and basically all of a sudden I get a phone call, and it's literally my friend, and he was following us in his car. So yeah, that was pretty scary. But yeah, no, we barely made it out, and yeah, it was a crazy experience. I'm glad nobody was injured or nobody was shot, because that was scary. I thought someone died for sure, but nobody died, so I'm very faithful for that. And yeah, faithful I'm still alive here today.
And yeah, that's where the story ends. Thank you all for watching the first episode of My Life on Camera. I really appreciate it. And if you want to see more stories like this, go ahead and subscribe, because I have a lot more crazy stories to tell.